Good morning. I am going to start a new book. This is the second one of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It is called Roderick Rules, and we're going to see what it's about. So it's set up the same way. It's like a journal or a diary, just like the other books. So it starts in September, and it starts with Monday. I guess Mom was pretty proud of herself for making me write in that journal last year, because now she went and bought me another one. But remember how I said that if some jerk caught me carrying a book saying diary on the cover, they were going to get the wrong idea? Well, that's exactly what happened today. Look at that. So there's his brother, and his brother says, "Sissy," says, "My brother Roderick," and he smacks the book out of his hand. Now that Roderick knows I have another journal, I better remember to keep it locked up. Roderick actually got a hold of my last journal a few weeks back, and it was a disaster, but I didn't even get started on that story. Even without Roderick problems, my summer was pretty lousy. Our family didn't go anywhere or do anything fun, and that's Dad's fault. Dad made me join the swimming team again, and he wanted to make sure I didn't miss any of the meets. So look here. This dad says, "Kill him, Brandon." And this one says, "No mercy, Todd." And here's Dad says, "Stop shivering, Greg." Dad got the idea that I'm destined to be a great swimmer or something. So that's why he made me join the swim team every summer. At my first swim meet a couple of years ago, Dad told me that when the umpire shot off the starter pistol, I was supposed to dive in and start swimming. But that didn't tell me that was the starter gun only fired blanks. So I was a whole lot more worried about where the bullet was going to go than about landing myself at the other end of the pool. Okay. Even after Dad explained the whole starter pistol concept to me, it was still the worst summer on the team. But I did end up winning Most Improved at the awards banquet at the end of the summer. That's only because there was a 10-minute difference between my first race and my last one. So I guess Dad is still waiting for me to live up to my potential. He is getting this award. In a lot of ways, being on the swim team was worse than being in middle school. First of all, we had to be at the pool by 7:30 every morning. The water was always freezing cold. And second of all, we were all crammed into 2 lanes. So I always had someone on my tail trying to get around me. So he's not liking the pool. The reason we had to use 2 lanes was because swim practice was at the same time as the water jazz class. I actually tried to convince Dad to let me do water jazz instead of swim team, but he would not go for it. He says, "Come on, ladies, get your arms in the air." It was the first summer the coach had let the boys wear swim trunks instead of those skimpy racing trunks, but Mom said Roderick's hand-me-down bathing suit would be perfectly fine. Uh-oh. Look at that. It says, "Your friends will be jealous because you'll be so fast." So his friends are laughing at him. Ha ha. After swim practice, Roderick would pick me up in his band's van. Mom had this crazy idea that if me and Roderick spent quality time together on the ride home every day, we wouldn't fight so much. But all it did is make things a lot worse. Roderick was always a half an hour late picking me up, and he wouldn't let me sit up front. He said that the chlorine would ruin the seats, even though the van is something like 15 years old. So here's his van. His van is called Loaded Diaper. And so he tells him, "Get in the back." Roderick's van doesn't exactly have any seats. in the back, so I had to squeeze in with the band equipment. And every time the van came to a stop, I had to pray I didn't get my head taken off by one of Roderick's drums. I ended up walking home every day instead of getting a ride from Roderick. I figured it was better to just walk the 2 miles than to get brain damage riding around in the back of the van. Halfway through the summer, I decided I was pretty much done with the swim team, so I came up with a trick to get out of practice. I'd swim a few laps and then I'd ask the coach to go use the bathroom. Then I'd hide in the locker room until practice was over. The only problem with my plan is that it's something like 40 degrees in the boys' bathroom, so it was even colder in there than it was in the pool. I'm shivery. I had to wrap myself in toilet paper so I didn't get hypothermia. That's how I spent a pretty big chunk of my summer vacation, and that's why I'm actually looking forward to going back to school tomorrow. All right, we're gonna stop there for today. I will see you guys tomorrow.